This year has been an awesome year for video games, especially indies and easy to run games, which is mostly roguelikes, but you know what I mean. So why don't you just throw your Xbox Ally X into silent mode at 13 watts and play some really awesome games for hours and not worry about heat, not worry about the fan, and not worry about the battery life. And by hours, I mean hours. There are some games on this list that you'll be able to play for over 7 hours of battery life, which is pretty awesome. So let's check out some recommendations that came out this year in alphabetical order for you to play on your Xbox Ally X. Like Absolum. Absolum is very, very cool. It is a roguelike beat 'em up, and it is done super well. The aesthetics, the designs, the gameplay are all extremely fun. The game itself is capped to 60 FPS. I wish they would open that up to 120 FPS because I feel like we have a lot of room here, but maybe that'll be in a future update. Either way, Absolum should pretty much be on everybody's list. This game uses up a bit more wattage than the Silent Profile's 13 watts, so expect to get about 4 hours and 4 hours and a half of battery life playing this. But that is 4 to 4.5 hours of just pure fun, especially for any beat 'em up lovers. Not ready to buy it? There is a demo you can try if you want to. Ball Pit is what you get when you have Arkanoid or Brick Breaker, or those types of games with roguelike features. It's also a form of bullet hell and all of that. There's a lot going on with this game, because you even have some town building aspects too. That does get better as the game goes on, but you're mostly playing with the balls hitting the wall and all the enemies and everything you see on screen. I have been sinking in a lot of hours into Ball Pit. It is one of those just one more run type of games that you have a lot to unlock, a lot that you can do, and so there's a lot of hours that you can sink into it. You can expect to basically be at 120 FPS for the entire time, and like Absolum, about 4 to 4.5 hours of battery life. Dispatch is an episodic game that is basically a comedy about superheroes in the workplace. And the cast is bonkers. You have Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad, Jeffrey Wright from Batman and so many other movies, Matthew Mercer, and so many more good talents for voice actors. You basically make choices to affect the story, and it's very Telltale style in that way. There's lots of actual gameplay though, with mini games and things that you have to do. But again, because it's a story game, I don't want to spoil anything for you, and so you're just going to see the beginning here. You can expect a long battery life here, 7 hours at least with this game, since it's mostly just visual novel, cutscenes, that sort of thing. It's not really hard to run. The game also has a demo that you can try out. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, is the newest remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it, of Final Fantasy Tactics. You can play the original or this enhanced version. There is full voice acting, which right off the bat added a level of immersion for me that I completely love, and it changes a lot. There are tons of quality improvements and enhancements, like not getting stuck at certain battles in the future anymore. And there's a ton more. Frame rate wise, you are basically going to be right at that 60 mark, since this game has no 120 FPS option that I could find, but 60 is more than enough for this type of game, which is a strategy RPG. It's turn-based, you don't need more than that. You can pretty much expect 7 hours at least playing this. Hades 2 likely needs little to no introduction after just how popular Hades 1 was, but this just continues the trend with a new coat of paint, a new story, new maps, new levels, new everything. It also runs just as great as the first one did, which is a feat in itself because you'll be playing this right at 120 FPS for pretty much the entire game. Hades 2 is super action-packed. There is a lot going on, there's a lot you can do, and this will be a game that you can really sink your teeth into, and you'll get about 5 hours or so of battery life doing so. Megabonk is a new game that I discovered recently, which is basically what if Vampire Survivors was 3D. That's really it. That's the entire scope of this project, and surprisingly, it works. You play as a fox that's a wizard. That's one of the characters, I don't know, but what else do you need to say? It's a fox wizard. That's already worth the price of admission. Now, for those of you that don't know what Vampire Survivors is, You basically have auto attack on and you run around the world collecting items and upgrading your weapons and things like that. And you have enemies that just continually come at you. So you are just running around. It's very similar to Ball Pit, except in this scenario, you have a full world that you can explore. This is another one of those one more run type of games where you look up and suddenly it's 4 a.m. and you don't know where the time went. You can expect about 5 hours or so of battery life at around 60 FPS, which drops a bit when more enemies are on screen. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is really cool, and it feels like a direct sequel to The Messenger. Now, for anybody that has not played The Messenger, you absolutely should, and then you should come play Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. You are a ninja, you do ninja things. It is not the only ninja game on today's list, but both are awesome. This feels like a retro game in a lot of ways. You have set skills, and they're very easy to remember, and all of this is based off of your platforming, and it is based on your own skill. You can expect about 6 hours or so of battery life playing this, and pretty much at 120 FPS the entire time, which for an action game like this is much appreciated. Pipistrello and the Cursed Yoyo is the most retro game on the list that actually fits with the channel. It just oozes retro, and it is a very Zelda-inspired type of game. There's puzzles, there's platforming, there's action, and all of that fun stuff that makes it a Zelda-like. You get to throw a yo-yo, which is the most retro thing in the world because yo-yos are awesome, and this is just charming altogether, and it also has a demo that you can try out too. But I am warning you, if you do try out that demo, you are going to buy the game. The game itself basically runs at 120 FPS forever, and you can expect over 8 hours of battery life playing this. Last on our list for today is Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and this one is deceptive because there is a lot more going on than you would expect, but it is still running at 120 FPS, and we have it low for wattage. Another ninja game here, but it is wildly different than Ragebound that we talked about before. Ragebound is more platforming and it is simpler to understand, whereas Shinobi has a lot more tools, combos, weapons, and it is more combat focused and oriented. Both are awesome, and Shinobi has an awesome art style too, which you can see if you grab the demo if you want. You can expect about 4 hours or so of battery life here at pretty much 120 FPS the entire time. That is all I have for you today. This was all just 2025, and I even missed a bunch of releases from this year too. But it's been a fantastic year for indie games, so don't forget all of the other years as well, and this year too. Enjoy some gaming. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow. Come join the Discord to talk all about handhelds. Support me through YouTube membership if you like my stuff. And hope you all have a good one.